Okay, today we're going to be talking about the Gibson 3-point bridge that they've had, for ages. I think probably since the 70s, maybe even earlier. Not sure how far back this thing goes, but it's been around for a long time. Versus a well known 3-point full contact high mass replacement for this thing by Babicz. Babicz. It's pronounced Babicz. I'm going to talk about this thing first. First of all, you know, on the longer scale basses like the Thunderbird, um, these are not typically a problem other than they do not make full contact with the body. They sit on these posts and they float above the body with these posts screwed into inserts or threaded wood on the body. You've got the one for the center and one for each side, and it just sits on there, and the tension of the strings pulling on the bridge holds it onto the posts. Okay, and it just sits there. It floats above the body, and this does affect sustain. I did notice, it did. I pulled this off of my Gibson SG bass, which I'm going to show you with the Babicz bridge installed. The sustain is much better with the Babicz bridge. Setup is much better with the Babicz bridge. This thing, in order to set these saddles up and get the bass intonated, you have to come. Okay, this is the string side going, to the pickups, across the body, and up the neck. You have to come at it from the front side of it here with, and there's a pickup right here, all right, with a screwdriver, a flat edge screwdriver, to adjust these saddles back and forth. Okay, and now I'm going to show you what my issue with this particular bridge was. Okay, let's put this right there so you can see it really well. On the E and A saddles, this is a bass string. You see this wrap right here? All right, that's where the core comes out and then comes back around this ball, and then it's wrapped around it to hold the whole thing together, so that you have this ball end to be able to slip it into the bridge. Now, I want you to see this. First of all, this does not fit very well into the bridge socket. The wrap is a little bit too wide to get into this bridge. Okay, and then if you see the A string here, that wrap is sitting on top of the saddle. There's another issue with these bridges, that they just fall apart if there's no tension on them from the strings. Now, look at the E. Look at where that wrap is. It's sitting right on the saddle. So on the E and the A, that wrap is sitting on the saddle, not the string, which affects the string height, and it affects resonation. Okay? Now on the D, it's still sitting on the wrap. It doesn't get off the wrap and onto the actual string section until we get up to the G string. So that's a big part of the problem with these. Okay, and like I said, if you tip these things, they fall apart. So once you take the strings off, this thing falls off the body, and all the saddles fall out if you're not careful. So I mean that's the Gibson 3-point bridge, and it really is kind of a poorly engineered setup, I think. Now Babicz, there's another company called Hipshot that makes a good one too, but I like the Babicz. Gibson uses Babicz. I had a Gibson 5-string EB5 that came stock with a Babicz bridge on it, and here I'm going to show you. I am going to show you this right now. Okay. This is my Gibson SG. This is the Babicz bridge. This bridge is solid. Okay, first of all, it makes full contact with the body all the way around. Second, the pieces that grab the balls are wide enough in between to be able to take the string wrap. Third, they're a little further back than on the 3-point. If you look at where the 3-point sits, you know, it's quite a bit closer. And the wraps are well behind the saddle points where the strings sit. So that it's the string surface that's actually sitting on the saddle, not the wrap. Another good thing about this is the way it sets up. In order to move the saddles back and forth, you have screws back here, instead of with the 3-point, the screws being in the front. So, you know, having to come at it with the like this with the screwdriver, that's ridiculous because you got the strings right on top of them. Okay, these are in the back, and then you have these Allens. One of them, let's see if we can get this. If you can see this, these are cams inside of here, and the one of these Allen keys turns the cam. It makes the cam roll, and that brings the string up or brings the string down. There's a cam in each one of these. The other Allen on the back here, on each saddle, locks the cam so it can't move. Okay? Then, you know, once you've got it's set to the height you want, and then you have it intonated, these Allens here, they lock the forward-backward movement. It can't move. This is a solid bridge. You know, the vibrating of the strings is not going to cause this thing to come out of adjustment as it can with this rinky-dink thing. You know, the screws on this thing can turn as you play. The vibration can move the screws, and the bridge can move down. The saddles can move forward. You know, they can unscrew themselves and move forward. This thing, from what I've seen with these bridges, once you lock everything down, they stay locked, and the bridge does not change. It doesn't require any further adjustment once you get it set, unless you change the string gauge. If you change the string gauge, then you're going to have to reset everything because your string height might be off, your intonation might be off. But as long as you use the same strings, same gauge at least, nothing should change. Intonation and action should remain the same. Okay, now I am going to play this thing. I've got it plugged directly into my, here, let me show you here. Got it plugged directly into my mixing board right there. And I'm going to turn that up right there. Alright. I'm going to show you what this sounds like. This is the board is EQ'd flat. There's no compression. There's no affecting of any kind. This is going directly out of the bass into the board and right to this recording. So. Play it up here, show you the different, how it mellows out when you come up a little further with your plucking. You can see this thing sustains really nice with this bridge. There you have it. This is the Babicz 3-point full contact bridge replacement for the stock Gibson 3-point bridge. You know, this is a great bass. I love this bass. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it plays. It's super light. It's a, you know, it's almost a travel bass. It's a short scale. But I really didn't care for this bridge on it. Now with the long scale necks, these saddles tend to be a little further forward, making this bridge less of an issue. You know, if you want a little more sustain, replacing it with a full contact high mass bridge will do it. But you don't need to replace it. I've had Thunderbirds that had this bridge. But because of the scale length is different, the saddles didn't need to be pulled as far back, and the whole string wrap sitting on top of the saddle wasn't really much of an issue for those basses. But on this bass, and I noticed it on my last one too. This is the second SG bass that I've had, EB3 style short scale Gibson bass, and yeah, this. Having the string wrap, the end wrap sitting on top of the saddle instead of string itself, yeah, that's not going to fly for me, and I doubt it's going to fly for you. So there you go. You know, look at the Babicz. It's not cheap, but I mean, neither is the instrument. So I mean, if you're going to put, you know, some sort of accessory or replace something on this thing, you're probably not going to want to go cheap on an instrument that is in this price range. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And oh, before I go, I want to talk about Babicz customer service. There was an issue with my Babicz bridge that happened at the factory, where they put, I guess they come in 2 different size screw threads depending on the bass that you have, and they mixed up the screws so that mine came with the wrong size screws for the ends and the right size screw for the center. So I contacted Babicz, and they got me. What they did was they sent me this. And what they sent me was, they sent me inserts, they sent me screws of both thread sizes, to make sure that I had everything I needed to be able to make their bridge work. So I would say, customer service wise from Babicz, that's awesome. They took care of me. They sent me whatever I would need. So Babicz, thumbs up. You will definitely have my business in the future. Okay. Other than that, now I'm done. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. God bless. I hope this was helpful. Bye.